Hello, hello. And let's hope this is what, third or fourth time lucky. Yes, my name's Sai. This is Ash. We are here with you guys for UFC 319 breakdown. We're going to be going over the full card, well, full main card that is, from start to stop, listing every single killer on this murderous row and giving you guys an idea as to what our prediction is. But yeah, so I guess you could call this the drawing board for the main card, which is probably hotter than a barbecue in England yesterday, if you guys were about for it. Did you scorch in town pretty well yesterday, Ash?
Yes, it was a bit of a warm one, but yes, it's good. It's good to be live. Finally, we've got the right one.
What a time to be alive.
Yes, let's crack on straight into this breakdown.
All right, cool. Now, of course, I need to get from you real quickly your top event on the night, because the whole card is basically chaos. You got Dricus, who's wild, of course, and he's kind of never say die style attitude. You're throwing punches like he's at a barber, and then you got Khamzat Chimaev, who basically is a human wrecking ball and just goes right through people, and has his way with whoever he likes on the mat. You know, what's your? I mean, are you most looking forward to that main event, or do you have other exciting ones on the card?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Cannonier versus MVP. That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be Cannonier versus MVP. Probably be maybe my fight of the night. But yeah.
Do you know what? I'm definitely gonna be losing sleep over this one. Every night before, but most likely the night of for sure, and probably even the night after if it ends as chaotically as I expect it might. But yeah. Well,
I'll tell you what though, Geoff Neal versus Prates is another banger though. So
that is good.
Yeah,
that could be quite close.
That is another banger. So that's another one that's a kind of sort of one that shines bright on that main card, should I say?
Yeah. Then you got Lerone Murphy versus Pico as well. I mean, okay, look, I can get through all of them, but we're going to do that in just a second. So
yeah, exactly that. You know what I mean?
All right, cool. There's some really good ones on there. So let's get into the first fight up on the card, and let's give these guys a little bit of an idea as to what to expect on the night. So this is a breakdown show with us two from Against the Fence. My name's Sai. This is Ash. The idea is we don't tell you what to think, but we just kind of show you how to think when it comes to looking at each of these fights on the card. So breakdowns, predictions, fighting styles give you every good insight as to how to pick these as we go through. But starting lineup, we've got Tim Elliott versus Kai Asakura.
Yeah, good fight. You know, good fight.
It is decent. It's good to see Kai back. Basically from headlining in the UFC debut to opening the card on his second fight in. So you can clearly see with this guy, he's still trying to find his feet in the UFC. Some will say, will probably still question his ability to handle like the top flyweights in the division.
Yeah.
So you could say this is a pivotal rebound for the guy. If he beats Elliott though, what would you say would be his ceiling?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like you said, coming off of obviously I've lost to the champ, obviously massive high hopes for him, obviously going straight to the title fight. Now kind of fighting someone that's been around for a long time, very sort of well-rounded, very experienced Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott likes to take the fight wherever he wants it though as well. And we see obviously Pantoja, we know how good he is with his pressure. So Tim Elliott's kind of like the same as well, and he's got some good work. So that could be an issue for Asakura. So, but his ceiling, if he it depends how he beats Elliott. I think if he finishes him, kind of see him again going for the top contenders, like Albazi maybe or someone like that, or even fight the former champion in Morono and guys like that in a division.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. You reckon that he can still get back up there? I mean, where they rank now on the board, you know, he's currently flirting around number 11, 10 in the rankings, and so you think he can probably get in at around 5. I think that's where Morono is now, like 6 or something.
Yeah, top sort of 6, 7. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then he's kind of re-experienced some of those challenges. But look, he was a prospect outside of UFC. He got an absolute golden ticket coming in. So now we get to kind of see where he lands or finds.
It's kind of like Steve. It could be like the Steve Erceg kind of scenario. Look what's kind of happened to him. Obviously he had 3 fights in the UFC. Yeah, I hope not as well. But he kind of had 3 fights in the UFC. Again, he didn't really fight big names, if you get what I mean. Just fought 3. He fought Machnal, which was he was quite sort of a veteran at the time, and knocked out Machnal. And then they thought, right, the sky's the limit for this guy. Let's get him in there. And to be fair to him, I said to you against Pantoja, Steve Erceg that was. And then now kind of like fallen off, if you get what I mean. Like, I know he just won at the weekend against O'Day Osborne, but it wasn't the best performance from him. So I'm hoping that Kai Asakura can kind of strive forward and kind of like have a better sort of run now than what Steve Erceg's doing.
Yeah, you're right. It's quite hard to see, isn't it, when you got someone who kind of has that shot at glory and then really struggles for scraps at the bottom end of it all. So, and I think it was a bit controversial on the weekend as well, wasn't it? But look, I guess if you look at the style he was up against, like Pantoja, he kept recycling that knee, right? Kai Asakura. So do you think he catches Elliott with it if Elliott was to shoot on him?
It's a possibility because obviously the footwork with Tim Elliott, it's kind of like a Dominic Cruz kind of style where he dips and weaves. Could potentially catch him when he's sort of like the classic saying where he should have zigged when he's zagged, if you get what I mean. But it all depends because I think Tim Elliott, if Kai does throw a knee, I think Tim Elliott will grab a hold of his leg and take him down. So I think Kai needs to be. Tim Elliott needs to capitalise on him throwing a knee, if you know what I mean, make him pay for throwing it and take him down.
No, that's true. Yeah, Tim Elliott will probably do whatever he takes whatever he can, doesn't he? When it comes to taking that, if you give him something, then he'll take it all. That's true. And you know, he's a real gritty veteran with wrestling heavy style. Decent striking as well, I'd say. Since his last fights, he's kind of impressed me. I've not seen him for the best part of the year though. I'm sure he's probably brimming at the fact that Asakura struggled against the wrestler in Pantoja in his last time out, the kind of grappling scenario. But either way, you know, he's never had that kind of finishing ability about him, like Asakura has, of course, in his historic streak. So, do you reckon he's going to be able to get the fight to the ground so he can neutralize that striking threat and reach advantage that Asakura's got, or do you reckon
who's that Tim Elliott to use his wrestling?
Yeah.
Or 100%. I think he mixes it in so well, and just he does have some great scrambles on the mat as well, like very underrated like scrambles. So I think we see a little bit of Asakura scrambling game against Pantoja. Of course, we know Pantoja is so slick on the mat. Obviously with the submission threats, I think Tim Elliott is not going to be a submission sort of threat heavy like Pantoja was. But Tim Elliott's still game as they come down there. So, yeah, Kai needs to be careful.
Yeah, I can't quite recall who her favourite was coming into this one. I think it was Asakura.
I think, Kai's favourite,
expecting to bounce back. But, you know, it's a very live underdog, I'd say, Tim Elliott. Just the fact that the wrestling was the kryptonite of Asakura in the last one. He really struggled with that. Or even striking going backwards. You kind of need that forward pressure from Tim.
Yeah, that's true.
So it wouldn't be silly
if Tim Elliott gets his striking going, it could be the same scenario again.
Could be. Let's get the gauges up and let's see who we're going to give this to. So this is a fun part for you guys at home, where we get to really see who gets the best striking, who gets good grappling, who gets good power, who gets good speed, who gets good cardio. So who do you give the striking to in this one? I think it's got to be Asakura, hasn't it?
It's got to be, yeah.
Grappling, who would you give that
to? Grappling, I'll give that to Tim Elliott, yeah.
And power, Asakura?
Ooh, yeah, it's good. I don't think I've ever seen Tim Elliott starch anyone.
No, it's been a minute. It actually has been a minute. We might see a little bit of a similar matchup style based on grappler, no power, and striker with power a little later on in the card. But otherwise, yeah. Would you say then in terms of speed and cardio, how do we point out?
I think speed might have to go to Tim Elliott. You know, I don't know. Obviously, I know Kai is quite fast himself, but I'm just thinking like
I would say
sort of.
I would probably say Kai for speed and then Tim Elliott on cardio. Wrestlers tend to kind of have
that could be one. That could be one. Yeah,
about them.
That's fair. That's fair.
And certainly with Kai, he's quite a fast striker. He likes his striking. I know against Pantoja, he did kind of give away some of those entries. He just can't strike going backwards. I think is one of the big issues. Whether he's actually been
and that's the thing. If Tim Elliott gets in his striking rhythm, like I said a second ago, that could be a problem for Kai.
Big problem, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, let's get the next fight up on the card. Whiz through this. This is one which you said was potentially your fight tonight as well.
Yeah,
it's good. This is Jared Cannonier versus Michael Page. Michael Venom Page. It's weird not saying Venom in the middle. Without that, it's just
Yeah, it is the same Michael Page, isn't it?
Yeah, who's Michael Page? Michael Venom Page, I know, but I don't know Michael Page.
Yeah.
Exactly. Any chats in the group that you can shout out as we go along? Feel free
No,
to
nothing at the moment,
have a
mate.
glance
Nothing.
over and do that.
But if
But
you
I'm
are
just going to get
there,
into
don't
Geoff Cannonier.
forget to
Sorry,
put
go
your
on.
comments in. I said, don't forget to put your comments in. If you think that we've got, like, if you just saw who we gave what, let's hear your thoughts. If you think the striking should have gone to Tim Elliott or the cardio could have gone to Kai, let us know.
Yeah, no, exactly that. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. You guys' inputs and questions tonight on the night. Okay, cool. So Joe Cannonier, right? Second fight up on the card. Now this recent TKO over Rodriguez, it showed his ability to come back from adversity, I think, and also showed that he's a great threat, even at 41, which is wild. Has he faced anyone like MVP before?
I think you're right. I don't think it's for anyone with the speed and the awkward style that MVP does have, and just how elusive and slick he is. I can't put a finger on it.
No, he's dangerous. This guy, lethal, powerhouse striker. Especially in the first round, he got knocked down by Rodriguez, and then he obviously came back and was able to outlast.
Yeah, just his experience and sort of grit, determination going through that, didn't it?
I mean, imagine being in a cage for 10 years. For over 10 years, I think it's been. I don't know how long he's been around Jared Cannonier, for a minute, but still finding new styles to face. Basically, it's still coming up against someone. He's got a pretty new flavor that you've not tasted before. That's MVP, one of a kind.
100%. 100%.
Do you reckon Cannonier could exploit MVP's weaker grappling with takedowns, or would he kind of stick to the striking?
It could be obviously we kind of see the path to kind of victory against MVP. You just got to wear on him, and I think Cannonier's kind of done that in the past. Where he did it against Gregory Rodriguez, taking him up against the cage, wearing on his opponents, just trying to drain his cardio away from him, if you know what I mean. So I think that could be a key for Cannonier. Obviously, not that I don't think MVP will gas out, but kind of weather that early kind of initial striking of MVP and then wear on him.
Yeah. Look, fair enough. The other thing as well, if you look to the numbers of each of these guys, I can't recall who was a favorite in this one. I think it does still reside with MVP, although Cannonier seems like just a bigger guy. The thing about MVP though, don't get me wrong, right? Ash, this is a striker's delight. Cannonier's raw power against Page's technical finesse.
Yeah.
Is really like I said, a striker's delight. But what's my big question is what is MVP still doing here? I remember asking him back at UFC London where he sees himself, middleweight division or the welterweight division. Bro told me he had no business at middleweight. His business was all at welterweight. That's what he said to me. Since then, he's just had an incredible win over Shara at middleweight, and now he's facing up Cannonier. He's working on his strikes. I'm like, no, why after I guess what's going to happen to him if he gets?
I think he just wants the big fights, doesn't he? Because obviously, like I said, not that he's old, but because obviously I think Cannonier is older than him, but I think he just wants the big fights. And I think if he's quite smart with it, it could be a path to maybe in the middleweight belt rather than the welterweight belt, because Cannonier
he told me he had no business
and he's
he's putting in the hours like he's got a business to. Especially with the wins he's getting.
Fighting like big card, isn't he? So
it was pretty sick. And
well, look what Shara just did to I can't remember his name, another Canadian guy.
In his last fight.
Yeah. I can't remember his name now.
Who did Shara just fight?
Yeah, look.
I'll have a quick.
Marc-Andre Barrieu, that's it. That's it. Look what he done to him. So yeah.
Yeah, he had an incredible bounce back fight after the MVP loss. Yeah, you're right. Lethal guy that he is. Who did you say was A4?
Shara put it for that.
Marc-Andre
Barrieu.
Marc-Andre Barrieu.
And obviously that was a great performance from him there. So you know, I mean, he's doing that to like the kind of seasoned veteran Marc-Andre Barrieu, and MVP scored him. So
yeah, you can take a lot. You can learn a lot from that. But MVP is against some serious power here in Cannonier. And if he does beat Cannonier, what do you do with him? You've got to put him into the rankings. Both divisions. He's 15 in welterweight, and then he's going to be 5 or 6 in middleweight.
Well,
does he then say, right, fine, screw welterweight, I'm saying middleweight, or is he still going to vacate middleweight?
That could be the case. That could be the case. You just don't know. You just don't know that could be the case.
Yeah, it could be.
But like you said, we'll have to see if he gets the win and see what he says on the mic.
Yeah. Here's a thought. I guess not too much because he's been around middleweight for a bit, but do you think his durability against a heavy hitter like Cannonier is going to be affected because it's not his natural weight class? He's welterweight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or so he told me. And he's been a
Yeah.
middleweight for a minute. So do you think he's really acclimatized, or do you reckon the power is really going to affect someone at MVP? Like we might see someone who's
You could be spot on there.
debuting
Like
it.
obviously, like I said before, maybe Cannonier's path to victory is maybe him wearing on MVP, and like you said, using that weight difference. Obviously, Cannonier is a big boy himself. Obviously, he's dropped from heavyweight, but like you know what I mean. So he's naturally a big guy. So, yeah, I think the power is definitely going to pay dividends in this. It all depends. If Cannonier lands a big shot, he needs to earn MVP's respect
really
early.
So to slow him down.
Yeah.
Because he's just difficult.
100%.
He's just difficult. But let's get the gauges up.
Yeah, he's difficult to hit. But yes, I think Cannonier obviously needs to fight his way into it, and we all kind of see him shy away from like when Cannonier fought Izzy, he was quite shy.
Yeah.
So he needs to get like his strikes off early, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Yeah. He's got the durability as well. So yeah, for MVP, he's got to dance all night long. Make sure he's not going to get caught. And look, when we say strike him right on this one, I would put it to Cannonier because that's really, I feel like, the only way he's going to get it done, or that and the grappling, to be fair.
Was that striking? Sorry,
you
or power?
Yeah, true, power. You're right. You can't not give striking to MVP.
No, he's got to have striking.
100%. Grappling, I will give to Cannonier just because I saw the way he was trying to wrap up the weapons of Rodriguez, Gregory Rodriguez in his last fight, and he did a good job for the most of it, holding up against the cage. Doesn't really take you to the ground, but I'll consider the clinch and up against the cage as grappling. And I think that's exactly where Cannonier is going to try to take it with MVP, just to slow him down, wear him out. But MVP can also take power. And I think the rest of it, speed is clearly going to be MVP. Cardio, though, that's my biggest question.
Yeah, speed MVP. So we got power for Cannonier, yeah? Did you say we got power for Cannonier?
Yeah, power for Cannonier, grappling for Cannonier, speed for MVP, striking for MVP. But who gets cardio? Because that's the decider.
It's a tough one. Obviously, if we're talking on the terms of obviously the big stage of the UFC, not obviously Bellator, then it's got to be Cannonier because we've seen him go 5 rounds more.
That's true. We got to kind of go down to what it says on paper and logically, and that's what it says on paper. The MMA maths is mathing, and it says Cannonier gets this one by a grueling decision, and it's only 3 rounds. Bear in mind, so not a full 5. Question is that who you're going to go over on the night as well? Or do you think that MVP is going to?
Yeah, we're going for MVP on the night. Yeah, definitely. I definitely go MVP on the night.
I'm just too impressed as to how he, dethroned the hype train in Shara Bullet. Too impressed at that last performance to just kind of ignore that going into this one. That's my thoughts for me. Next fight up on the card, shall we have a look? Yo, we got Geoff Neal versus Carlos Prates. Now, this one also was your potential fight of the night. I think they're all potential fight of the nights, aren't they? That's why we have a card where everyone is nearly a potential fight of the night. Yeah, no,
I think you're spot on. I can't remember if we put the card out this week, but this card, rating this card, it should be quite high, to be honest, because obviously it's got it all. Obviously, it's got the co-main event's now got the hype of Aaron Pico in it against Lerone Murphy. Obviously, we've got a striker's dream in MVP versus Cannonier that we just broke down. Now we've got another striker's dream in Geoff Neal versus Carlos Prates. So, whoop.
I know, man. It's so good. Striker's dream is correct. And this fight here is like, it's someone like Geoff Neal who's been around for a minute. Both of these guys have something in common, and that is something that begins with Ian and ends in Gary. And I kind of looked at those fights to find out how they've performed against him, to use them as a benchmark to kind of judge how they're going to perform against each other, if that makes sense. But you got someone like Geoff Neal who's a powerful striker with sharp boxing and a reputation for durability, doesn't he? But I guess he's as dangerous as he is pretty much all hands, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He likes. I don't know what other tools he's got in his arsenal. He doesn't really do grappling. He's all hands, but they are very dangerous.
Yeah.
So I guess the question still remains: is can Neal's boxing and power close the distance against someone like Prates, reach and kickboxing?
Yes. I think you're spot on there. Like the way you're saying, get into boxing range, because I think like Geoff Neal's boxing is slick. Like it's not as good as JDM's, but it's very, very. His boxing is elite. So he's got to get past the range and the lengthiness of Carlos Prates. And guys have found it hard so far. Obviously, I know he's coming off that loss to what's his name now? Bloody hell.
Who are we talking about?
Irish guy. Ian Gary, sorry. So obviously, Ian Gary obviously beat Carlos Prates, but that's because obviously the range of him as well was staying up to the range of obviously Carlos Prates. So yeah, Geoff Neal needs to get into boxing range and land early. And like I said in the previous fight when we were breaking it down, Neal needs to get Carlos Prates' respect early.
Yes, yeah, so true. And how does he do it? I guess it's got to be with his power. He's got very long. He's very lanky. He's got very long reach and arms, and I think he's going to be using every bit of that to keep Geoff Neal away from him. So the biggest problem there is how do you close the distance on a guy like that? You know,
yeah.
Prates is an explosive kickboxer.
He's got good footwork as well, so his footwork could get him into range and into that boxing range where he wants it anyway. So
you're really gonna have to utilize it. You're right, but I think we learned something from Prates' last fight against Ian Gary. Right, we kind of exposed some weaknesses. The guy was previously undefeated, right, Prates? So we didn't really learn much in like how to solve that puzzle until Ian Gary, and it was his late fight durability. And and also it was he's kind of fighting backwards. You know, it's
a little bit of cardio as well. His cardio was good.
His grappling, yeah. Ian Gary's cardio, or
Prates' cardio, because obviously he's been finishing guys early, hasn't he? And to go the rounds they did, I thought was very good for him. And like you said, he was coming on strong in that last round because he nearly finished Gary. He dropped him, and obviously Gary just somehow survived.
That's it, yeah. True. Drew's able to come back from that, some adversity there, but you know, other than that, it's Gary managed just to edge against his hand raised. So, do you think it's the same kind of rinse repeat strategy for someone like Geoff Neal to get it done, or does he have his own ways?
No, I think he has to have his own way. I think he's going to, obviously, like you said earlier, the grappling of Geoff Neal, he's not going to use any of that. He's just going to try and strike with Prates, and Prates just needs to mix it up.
Do you reckon that Geoff Neal would take this to the ground?
Oh, no. No, he'd definitely keep this standing, man.
Well, it makes sense to go to the ground. It would make sense, but everybody does it.
It would maybe mix it in, mix some of the, like, obviously grappling in. Maybe might have Prates up against the cage and land some of that dirty boxing because he's in close then. But I think he potentially could do that, but I don't see him kind of trying to go for takedowns.
All right, fair. Well, let's get the gauges up then and have a look at these two dangerous dealers on the card. Geoff Neal, Carlos Prates. Striking, who you giving it to?
Oh, don't do that to me.
So hard. We'll come back to that. Grappling,
well,
I think.
I've had to sit back.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? You actually did.
I don't know. Because power is kind of tough as well, but I think power slightly Carlos Prates.
You reckon?
Slightly. And then maybe do we give striking to Geoff Neal? But then Carlos Prates striking is good anyway. Like, he mixes it in so well. I've seen him finish it with knees to the body kicks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'll give him speed as well. Prates. You've got speed for me. Power wise, yeah, okay, Prates. Grappling, I think just because he would need to use it a bit more, Geoff Neal, but whether he would, it's just where it would lie. And in striking, it's tough. It's got to be Prates, isn't it?
Apologies about that. I just had a phone call.
Oh, did you? Oh, was I talking to myself the whole time?
Yeah, sorry about that. No, yeah, you were. Sorry.
I thought something fish was going on there. I'm still striking now, and cardio is where I'm stuck at. And I'm going to need some people in chats to help me out.
Cardio.
There's JK in chats. Ask him, Steve.
No, no one's in the chats. We're all alone.
Yeah.
No one's home.
Give it a piece on it. Oh, we had a problem getting it started, so probably the tags fell off.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, they probably tuned in at the start and gave up on us.
No, I reckon
which I fully
we're
understand.
a bit late with it.
Yeah. Cardio wise, it could go to either one of them really, because obviously when Geoff Neal fought Shavkat, his grit and determination and that was really, really good. And fighting someone as a top level, someone like Shavkat was very, very good to watch. But then Prates, his cardio against in Gary kind of surprised me, if you know what I mean. Coming on strong in that last round and nearly got the finish.
He did.
Just because I've seen him go longer rounds, I'll probably say Geoff Neal.
Yeah. Okay. And then strike him. Still there.
Striking, I'm going to go Carlos Prates just because he mixes in a lot more than just his boxing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's got a bit of a prowess.
This is MMA, not boxing.
So yeah, there it is. There you have it on the card on paper. The MMA maps is pointing to Carlos Prates of 3-2 against Geoff Neal. Now, the question remains: who do you go for in the night? For me, I think I'll go for what it looks like there on the screen. Carlos is going to ride.
Yes, I think I'll be doing the same.
He previously had. Going to return to that, and Geoff Neal's going to have a tough time stopping him. Yeah, I see. Prates going on a run. Geoff Neal, I don't see going on a run. What's the ceiling for someone like Prates, do you think?
Yeah, well, obviously the sky was the limit until he unfortunately lost to obviously
Ian Gary.
You
always struggle with him.
Yeah. I know. I don't know what's going on with me today. I just
Machado.
going blank. But yeah, no. Obviously, the sky was the limit until unfortunately he got that loss. But yeah, if he can go beat someone as strong, kind of in a division as someone like Geoff Neal, I think we're back on the horse, baby.
Yeah, hopefully, rewrite that momentum, get back on that, and keep going. All right, let's get into the next fight on the card. We are at, is that a co-main already? We're at a co-main event of the evening.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back. This is Lerone Murphy versus Pico. Oh, my friend, this is good. Now, we're not going to learn a lot from Pico because it is his debut here in the UFC. But, there's much to say about Lerone Murphy. He's actually been on a mission across the MMA galaxy, this guy. he really has. He's been racking up the gauntlet of gems. He's undefeated on his undefeated streak that he's currently on. He's already fought the power fighter. That was Josh Emmett in his last fight. So there we go. He's got the power stone. Yeah. He did this kickboxer in Barbosa. He won that one as well. So there you go, give him the technical striking stone, if you like. And now he kind of got... and then he also had the durability to put up with Ige's relentless output, which was insane as well. So he's really been fighting different styles of fighter all the way through, and I've been so impressed with his performance time and time again. So that's why I say he's got this gauntlet of gems. But does Murphy... do you think that his 2 finishes in the last 9 fights versus Pico's 7-1 in his last 10, does that worry you?
Yeah, it's one of them where it's like obviously Evelev, he just comes to the top of my head just because he doesn't really get the finish on guys. I said this to you. I think we must have been in a meeting at one point. So I said, like, when was the last time Lerone Murphy got a finish? And it was, I think it was probably like 2-3 fights in when he finished Aqua Marani. I can't pronounce his name properly, but very early on in his UFC days was his last finish. So, and if he can go in there and finish Pico, big statement, because obviously Pico is coming in with a lot of hype. So yeah,
it's true. And look, let's get back to Lerone Murphy in a second. But Pico, bear in mind, is another former Bellator standout, right? He's been doing great in Bellator.
Yes,
he's shining. And he's making his debut. So in the UFC, and if history teaches us anything, right, then Pico is probably set to remind us exactly why UFC is the more superior organization. Pitbull, Patchy Mix, these guys come from Bellator, and they can probably speak of the tough competition they've had to come into, get welcomed by when they do their debut.
But I think obviously, like, Chandler had a kind of a decent test when he first fought Hooker. I think that was reasonable. That wasn't like Paxi Mix versus Bautista, because that was just a mismatch. Bautista just dominated him. and then you got where it was Pitbull versus Rodriguez. The styles just did not make sense. I knew from the get-go that Rodriguez is just going to outkick him, outclass him, just because Pitbull couldn't get close to land his power. And then when they gave Pitbull Dan Ige, I thought, right, that's a good matchup for him because styles were kind of like the same. And obviously we see it, he got the win. So I think them giving Pico Lerone Murphy now, because they didn't in the first place, because they gave him Evlev, didn't they? So that would have been a bit of a, sugar. That's another one where another Bellator guy is fighting a top guy in Evlev. It's going to be another loss for the Bellator guy. Now they've given him Lerone Murphy. Don't get me wrong, Lerone Murphy's all the talent in the world. But this is another one where I'm like, this could be one where Pico could win this one.
Yeah, it's true. And thanks for that insight actually as well. And the other Bellator matchups was brilliant. And because I'm not sure if it was confirmed, but it certainly was rumored Evlev and Pico were going to go up against each other. Do you reckon that would have been a better fight, or do you reckon stylistically?
I actually stylistically think this is a better matchup because we were just in Evlev just trying to wrestle Pico for the whole fight. So I think the fans win in this one because this one will probably be a lot more entertaining than the Evlev fight. But it would have been interesting. It would have been more interesting, obviously, seeing Evlev versus Pico, just because to see how Pico dealt with the pressure and the takedown ability of obviously Evlev.
Still time.
But that's true.
Yeah, no wonder that would have begun. But yeah, I think the story is the UFC just like to take prospects from other divisions and really put them up against a hard welcome coming in, just to remind everyone exactly why they are considered as the ultimate fighting championship. It's a subtle mind game that they play, but I'm onto them. I'm onto them entirely. How does Pico rise to the challenge? I guess I think we're looking at his power ability. He stopped. What I say, there's 7-1 or so in his last 10 fights.
Like you hit the nail on the head there. Power, obviously, like I've said before, multiple watch-longs, breakdowns, and said on multiple occasions that I think Pico's power, and obviously you said earlier about obviously he withstood the power of obviously Josh Emmett. For me, Josh Emmett's one of them guys that never sets his power up. He will just wing his overhand right, never sets it up, and just looks for it for the whole fight. Pico will set it up. He won't just wing it. So you won't know when it's coming. With Josh Emmett, you kind of know when it's going to come because he will step forward and throw it. So I think if Pico can disguise it and mix it in, then that's going to be the difference.
Yeah. It could it could be all the difference. It just take one. It just takes one. But let's not forget.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's the ones you don't see coming as well. Like obviously, sometimes don't get me wrong, Josh Emmett has great power, but sometimes you can kind of be ready for a punch that you know is coming. If you get what I mean.
Yep. Yeah, fair enough. Rather than taking off guard, if it's fast and off guard, that's what tends to knock you out, isn't it? But no, cool. Either way, it's going to be an interesting fight. Like I said, it's an absolute barn burner of a card, man. I might even give it a 9 out of 10. Everything on this card so far is my potential fight tonight. Hopefully this hasn't fall tentative at all. But you got Lerone Murphy, who's undefeated. Do we ride that momentum and into and throughout this fight? Has his luck run out, or is he going to continue to remain undefeated even after this one? That's a big question. I'll get the gauges up. There it is. So look, here's the gauges. What are you saying about striking on this one? Who gets it?
Just because I've actually seen his striking improve over the years, I might go Lerone Murphy, and obviously I have seen Pico fight a few times, but just because I've seen more of Lerone Murphy, and this is where chat could help here. If you are in the chat, if you think I'm being blind and giving the striking to Lerone Murphy, let me know. But I'm going to go Lerone Murphy. But yeah, striking for Lerone Murphy for me.
Yeah, okay, cool. And then
mixes it in a lot. I don't want to go Pico, with that American wrestling.
Okay. Easy. So Pico gets grappling, and striking goes to Pico as well.
And power goes to Pico.
Power goes to Pico. Speed, definitely not surprisingly fast.
Ooh.
entirely sure on this one because I haven't seen much of Pico.
Yeah, you're right. Might have to go Lerone Murphy.
Yeah, Lerone Murphy. Does it Geoff Lerone Murphy? And then cardio.
And then cardio may have to go Lerone Murphy as well, just because we've seen more of it.
Yeah, we have seen more of it. So that's 3-2. Once again, the first 3 going over to Pico. Power, grappling, striking.
This one's another tough one for me as well, because I think Lerone Murphy is very, very, very talented. But do I go for the hyper Pico? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is. He's
And the funny thing is, I actually, when Barbosa fought Lerone Murphy, I was like, Barbosa's going to outkick him, outclass him. But Lerone Murphy surprised me in that fight. Same when he fought Josh Emmett. I thought, Josh Emmett's going to starch him. Surprised me in that fight as well. So there's a few times I've counted him out. And it's the same with, and I'm going to go off topic a little bit here, but it's the same with weekend just gone. Cody Brundage, first fight on the card. The amount of times I count that guy out because he's quit several times. You know he's quit several times.
Yeah.
And then I thought, he's quite a heavy favourite in this fight. Oh, I'll back him. And then he bloody lost. Yeah. The one time I back him, he loses.
Yeah, every time. Sometimes he surprises you, but other times you're just like, mate, did you not want to get out of bed this morning? Did you just not want to turn up?
He didn't have not a bad performance. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't the best, but like I thought, I'll back him. And he bloody loses.
Yeah, I hate that. You know, he's my Geoff Neal in that instance. Not Geoff Neal, Neal Magny. He's my Neal Magny in that instance.
Yeah, exactly.
Reliable.
Here's another one. Like again on paper
never
against Ezekiel Santos. Whoa, that's a tough
never
fight.
Put money on these
and
guys.
then he wins it. He wins the ones he shouldn't. Neal Magny.
Never put money on these guys. You know, they'll leave you homeless in a heartbeat. All right, cool. That's our co-main event. Guys, do you agree on that? Do you think otherwise? Drop a comment and a like below. Let us know. We're quite keen to find out and just hear your opinions on it too. Because this isn't about what we think. It's about how we think. So let's see if you guys are on the same wavelength. All right. Next up is the main event of the evening. The moment we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
And I think in my intro, I kind of made it a little bit clear. I'm surprised Khamzat is still here. Not pulled out. And he's arrived. He's absolutely arrived.
It's only Wednesday.
Well, I mean, hold on. We still got time. We're only Wednesday. Still got 3 days yet.
Exactly that. We're only
Wednesday. Still got 3 days yet. We'll see. All right. So look, in the red corner, you got your 23-0 South Africa. That is Dricus du Plessis. He stands at 6'1" with a 76-inch reach. And then in the blue corner, you got your Khamzat Chimaev, the absolute wolf, the barbarian, the wrecking ball. That is 14-0, undefeated, standing at 6'2" and a 75-inch reach. Is just slightly shorter there. And yeah, bro. This guy, as I mentioned in the very opening lines of this card, is someone who comes on in and just violates your space. You know, he doesn't give you any permission, any time to rest, any time to have a go, have a turn, to get into the fight at all. He just shuts you down from start. Now, I wanted to talk a bit about when I spoke with Paddy a few weeks back. I went up to to Liverpool and I was at his gym, and he was saying that Dricus du Plessis is funky. And basically, outright, he said he might be able to outlast Khamzat Chimaev. If this goes 5 rounds, then...
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Then DDP's got it. But if he's got to survive 1 and 2 against Khamzat. And because he's quite funky, he thinks he might.
It's a very good point, you know, because it's definitely true. Because when Chimaev fought Whittaker, I thought, if Whittaker can survive round 1 or maybe 1 round and a bit, Whittaker's going to win this on cardio alone. But obviously, he didn't get there.
Survive is a big one. You know, surviving was a big objective.
Yeah.
What about the Kamaru Usman fight? Did you think that? I mean, Paddy thought Kamaru Usman won that one. If you go back to that fight and remember, I think it was round 1 and 2 for Khamzat Chimaev, but then it was a subsequent round after that. I think round 1, the subsequent round after that is Kamaru Usman that was just doing the most.
100%.
And you could kind of see that difference in cardio ability. So it was a controversial one, and Paddy certainly thought Kamaru Usman got it. But what's your take on that? Do you think his cardio is improved drastically since then, or do you reckon it could still be an issue?
Who's Chimaev's cardio?
Sorry?
Has Chimaev's cardio improved?
Yeah.
I don't think we've kind of seen enough of it after that to see if that's true, because obviously he finished Whitaker round 1 after that, and I think that's the only fight he's obviously had since Usman. After Usman, it was Whitaker, right?
Yeah, that's it. So
So
it's still yet to be figured out whether
we
his cardio has
still
been
don't know
patched
if that cardio is going to hold
or
up.
not. But look, he's made weight, and he's well. Actually, hold on. We don't know yet. He's just still here. Whether all that happens, we still yet to see. And what about Dricus? We know his cardio has improved since he's got his operation done
to
open up the airwaves behind his nose. And an absolute merchant when it comes to the 5 rounds and marching down opponents. And he's got that real funky style. Paddy said, I think he'll be putting those clips out this week, wouldn't you? But he mentioned about how sometimes people call him a little bit like a Plessis because of his funky style. The things he does, you don't think it's going to work, but then it works.
And it does, yeah, exactly that. And it's like the amount of times I've counted DDP out as well, just because of his weird style and the way he fights. It's not concrete
enough for me, yeah.
But it's working.
Exactly. It's not concrete enough for me, but then it's then he just goes and gets it done. So shocking, so surprising. How do you want this fight to go? Because if DDP wins, cool, great, nothing new there. But if Khamzat wins, hopefully it's going to force him to be more active and not just sit.
Hopefully as well.
I reckon there's going to be a whole load of interim belts.
It'd be interesting if Chimaev wins. I kind of want him to, in a way, just to see what it's like with him and Champ, see what he says on the mic or so, and just see how the division shapes up as well.
That's what he'll say. I kill everybody.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I think it'd be so entertaining. Having Khamzat as holding the gold belt. Whatever happened to Khamzat and Darren Till? That was a little bromance that just ended.
Yeah, they just don't know each other now. Now Darren Till is in the Misfits world, isn't
he? Yeah. Different. Let's get the gauges up.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So here we are, looking down the barrel of the main event of the evening. You've got your Dricus, funky du Plessis in the red corner, and you've got your Khamzat, does what he likes, wolf of the MMA canvas in the blue corner. Striking-wise, who do we give it to?
It's going to have to go for Dricus du Plessis for me,
striking, yeah. Grappling?
Like I said, it's funky striking, isn't it? So
it's funky. It's going to be difficult. I'm waiting for the day where we can call fraud checked on Khamzat Chimaev, but I think the day is coming past. We can't really, still, can we? He did so much so fast. We thought, what would be his weakness? He's still undefeated, but his performance
his weakness is cardio.
Made us say, fair enough.
Well, Gilbert Burns as well, because when he fought Gilbert Burns, a lot of people thought, whoa, because Gilbert Burns hurt him several times, and was like, oh my God, he's human.
Yeah, he made him bleed.
So, yeah.
Those two. And thinking about how close those two got before, I'm actually quite keen to see how they would do against Khamzat Chimaev. They just got to against du Plessis.
That's true, yeah.
I'd love to see Kamaru Usman and du Plessis.
That's true. Yeah, that'd be a good fight, yeah. I think Kamaru Usman's not far off that. Obviously, come off that great performance and won against Joaquin Buckley. Yeah. He's got himself kind of back in the mix now. It'd be interesting to see who Usman fights next.
So good of him to stop him, because he was just a hot riser, Joaquin Buckley. So told us he's still relevant. So what's the question we got here? Grappling, Khamzat Chimaev or du Plessis?
Yes, Khamzat Chimaev.
And then we've got power, speed, and cardio.
Power for me might have to go to DDP. I don't know. I've only seen Khamzat starch one person, and that's Jared Mershot.
Yeah. Let's have a look here at wins by knockout or TKO. 43% for Khamzat and 39% for Dricus. Submissions, 48% Dricus and 43% Khamzat. But then if you look at overall fight time, 6 minutes for Khamzat, 13 minutes for Dricus. He's actually got double the amount of fight time than Khamzat. But Khamzat just is really good at finishing his food.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so low. It's not around for a long time, it's around for a good time. So it doesn't really teach me much, those numbers, to be fair. I'm still falling back on... Yeah, Dricus is... with power. Who's Dricus knocked out? got a list there of like people he's knocked out.
Ooh.
I wonder who he's put to sleep. And I wonder if that can help me. Because Khamzat's so dangerous. But then you think about it, he doesn't really knock people out with his hands so much as he just overcomes them and consumes them with his grappling. Literally. So, yeah, I wonder who's there.
There's not too many people that I clicked on the wrong fight. There's not too many people he's finished.
Really, huh?
Have a little look. Trevin Giles, he TKO'd. Marcus Perez TKO'd him. Obviously, Darren Till.
Oh yeah, Robert Whittaker.
Robert Whittaker he KO'd. Yeah. Oh yeah, Derek Brunson he TKO'd as well. So yeah, the Robert Whittaker one was surprising, obviously, because we all thought it was a leg injury.
Yeah.
At the time of watching it, because but he hurt him with a strike.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That power there. Okay, cool. So we can back that up, right? Anyone in the chat want to fight us?
Speed will go to Khamzat for me.
Yeah. So who gets speed?
Khamzat for me.
He's too fast. And cardio, Dricus.
Yeah. DDP.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. That's 3 for DDP, and it's just 2 for Khamzat Chimaev. And now I wonder how we tie a bow on this one. Are you gonna go with what it says on paper before us right now, or will you side with the villain?
Yeah, obviously I've backed Khamzat to be the champion by the end of the year, so I'll probably stick with Khamzat.
It's almost written in the stars, isn't it? But I really wouldn't be surprised if DDP gets the upset. If it's a one time,
but that's it as well. You know what I mean?
Because he's just so good at doing that. DDP is so good at getting the upset. If this is the one time when I go with DDP and he loses, I would hate him even more. Sorry, I would hate him even more. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm thinking if I go with Khamzat Chimaev, he wins, great. If he loses, yeah. You know what I mean? But DDP would probably upset me. But are you serious? Gonna waste my pick on such a good guy? You know. Anyway. So yeah, I think I was probably starting Khamzat on the night. All right, man. That takes us to the end of the card.
Does indeed, mate.
Now, after reviewing it all, has your fight of the night changed?
No, not really. I think it's still going to be MVP Cannonier, but that's not to say that Carlos Prates versus Geoff Neal is going to be a boring one, because that's going to be an exciting one as well. And obviously, Lerone versus Pico, an exciting one. And even the main event is an exciting one as well. But we
after reviewing the card, we've gone back to listing almost all of the fights on the card as our potential.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Let's just say that all of them.
It's probably our potential, main card of the year. In terms of how it's going. It's just exciting. So many good matchups on it. So I'm looking forward to it as well. If you guys are at home and watching this and enjoying it as well, then yes, love to drop a comment below to see if you agree. Let's get all your predictions down there as well, see what you've decided. But also, don't miss us this weekend. We'll be on Saturday giving a full watch along. It'll be me, Ash, and JK, all at Q Lounge in Luton, giving a full coverage of the
back together
of the fight card. So really looking forward to dropping up with you guys, but also having you guys watch along with us and not watch on your own. That's largely what it's all about. Anything else from you, Ash?
No, that's it for me. Just like I said, drop a like on the video if you haven't done so already. If you are new, subscribe. We are a UFC fan channel where fan opinions matter most. And obviously, this is what the breakdown show is for, to give your opinions on certain elements of the game. Like we just kind of broke them down there with the striking, grappling, speed, and everything like that.
100. Well, on that note,
hopefully we can see you there for the watch along.
Love, peace, chicken grease.